go through our financial results for 2020. Thereafter, we're going to answer the questions you've shared over the past few days on Slido. And finally, I'll leave some time to tackle the questions that you may raise during our live session on Facebook and YouTube. So let's get going. Despite the coronavirus, 2020 in many respects was a record year for Bondora. Most importantly, 44,000 new investors joined our community, taking the total number of investors to 170,000. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all of the investors for their continued trust and support. We're really pleased for that in Bondora throughout the team. Thank you. In 2020, I said that our focus is on sustainability. We delivered on that promise. In terms of our financials, our revenue increased by 5% to 21.4 million euros, and we delivered a net profit of 3.4 million euros. That means that 2020 was our fourth consecutive year of profitability. In the beginning of the crisis, we decided as a precautionary measure to stop lending in Finland and Spain, and also cut back on the volumes in Estonia. A few months later, when we saw the data come in, we decided to reopen Finland, and soon we're relaunching Spain as well. As a result, in 2020, our total originations were 68.4 million euros, out of which 50 million came from Estonia. Also, we were able to increase our recoveries by 50% to 7.9 million euros. And I'm very pleased for the results and all the effort that our team put during 2020. They showed amazing grit and persistence despite the crisis, although it had direct impact to their personal lives as well. They continue to put customer first in everything they do. Thank you for the rest of the team. Whilst 2020 was a year where our focus was on sustainability, then now in 2021 and beyond, we're going to focus on sustainable growth. That means that we're going to start rolling out new products as well as new markets. If you want to learn more about our financial results, then in the morning we've published a blog post that shares all of the details as well as the full annual report on our blog. So go to bondora.com/blog and check out all the details and ask any questions you have. That's it on the financials. So I'd like to take some time now and go to Slido and answer the top questions you've shared over the few days. So let me get my computer first. So, I'll go through the questions one by one from top, and I'll take 5 or 6 or as many as I can take before we move on to Facebook and YouTube. The first question is from Christoph. Hi Christoph. And he's asking, as of now, there's a monthly limit of 400 euros if one wants to add money to their Go and Grow account. Are there any plans to increase that limit or to abandon it? Briefly, when we decided to cut back in lending in Estonia, Finland and Spain, we also decided to make sure that everyone gets access to growing their money. As a result, we decided that we're going to set a cap per investor to limit how much everyone can invest per month. That cap right now is 400 euros. We have no plans to remove that cap completely. However, as the economy starts to recover and we start increasing our originations, we plan to review this cap on a routine basis. So stay tuned, and we'll let you know about any limit changes on our blog and on our website. The next question is from Anonymous. Hi Anonymous. And he's asking, there are voices in the internet that say that the Bondora portfolio isn't profitable in the long run, based on your statistics. What's your statement? Go and Grow has, over the last 3 years, delivered net returns of 6.75%. I think, although this is not guaranteed, it's a great testament to the community and a great result. On top of that, we have stress tested the portfolio through a number of scenarios, and through these stress tests I've seen that the portfolio will be profitable even under severe stress. As a benefit, given we've done this for over a decade now, the more data we get, the better our risk scoring and the better our pricing. And we can continue to optimize the way who and when we issue loans to make sure that the risk is very, very well managed and the portfolio is highly diversified. As a result, the risks within Go and Grow will continue to decrease over time rather than increase. The next question is from Tony. Hi Tony. When there will be an iOS and Android app? Given there was a lot of demand for the app, we decided to rebuild and launch a completely new one. Over the past few weeks, a number of investors have had the opportunity to test out the new prototype. Over the coming months, we will be starting to release the new product to live. It's going to be live on both iOS and Android. If you have been one of the lucky ones and been able to test our prototype, then feel free to share your feedback on Facebook and YouTube for other investors as well. Next question is from Gianmarco. When are you going to publish financial statements relative to 2020? Did you manage to stay profitable as a company during the pandemic? So at the start of this session, I mentioned that we were able to deliver net profit for the fourth consecutive year in 2020. And the full financial results are live on our blog. So go to bondora.com/blog and you'll find all of the details there, Gianmarco. The next question is from Anonymous again. It is in German, so I'm not going to read it out, otherwise everyone's going to laugh at me. But I more or less understand the question as following. Will there be a Bondora in next 10 to 20 years, and why there is a €400 limit on the account? We've been around for over a decade now, and we continue to be able to grow and innovate and launch new products. We have a very long-term plan, and the vision we're working on and have been working on for years has been to be able to provide everyone in Europe a product that allows them with one click to start growing their money, and with one click get access to credit they need. And that is the vision we continue to build towards for. In terms of the €400 cap, I already mentioned it a few questions ago. It is set there to make sure that every investor has a fair access to the investors, whilst we cap our originations as a precautionary risk measure. There's another question from Anonymous. He's been very active today. That question is, Europe is expecting an inflationary thrust in 2021 and perhaps 2022. How will Bondora act in this environment? Investors have been discussing potential inflation for over a number of years now, and there's been no big signs of inflation other than few monthly spikes if you look at year-on-year comparison. So despite that inflation right now is not live, or there's not an active concern, we have plans and processes in place to adjust the pricing of our loans overnight if necessary, when inflation would kick in and the yield demand would increase. So we have processes in place to deal with that. The next question is from Anthony. He's saying, I love the Bondora and have been an investor for 4+ years. Are you planning on giving your community some equity? I think this improves engagement and loyalty. At the moment, we have no such plans. And the reason is very simple. We haven't raised money since 2014. We continue to be profitable. We've been so for the past 4 years. And so far, the profit we've all invested back into the growth of the company. So at the moment, we're not in a position that we need to raise money. However, if the situation would change, we could consider crowdfunding, and for sure. The next question is from Frank. Hello, Frank. Why there are no audited financial reports? Actually, Frank, if you go to bondora.com/blog, you will find a blog post there that details our financial results for 2020. It also includes the annual report that's audited by KPMG. So I hope you find everything there. If not, give us a shout out to our support or in social media. I think we have a post with the link to a post to our financial results in social media as well already. So take a look there. Alison is asking, where can we get analysis of the loans included in Go and Grow? Hi, Alison. It's a good question. Every quarter we release an update on Go and Grow portfolio composition on our blog. So go check out and keep it tuned. If you have any additional questions, please feel free to share them on our social media or email us at investor.bondora.com. The next question is from Anonymous, and he's asking, I would appreciate the strategic outlook for the Portfolio Pro service. Do you have long-term plans for it? We continue to review usage data routinely for all of the different products we've created over time. Based on that, we're going to make changes if necessary. For the past few years, we haven't added any new features to Portfolio Pro because the usage has been declining and it's only used for a small fraction of customers so far. However, we continue to maintain the product and we continue to optimize the performance from a technical perspective as the volumes grow to make sure it still operates fast for all the existing customers. The next question is, I started with Bondora last year and Portfolio Pro invested about 800 euros every month easily. Now I can hardly invest 70 euros a month. As mentioned in the last question, we're reviewing our user statistics, and in the end of last year we saw that the usage of Portfolio Pro has decreased substantially. As a result, we decided to adjust our distribution logic, how different new loans and investment opportunities are distributed between the different products, to make sure that every product gets a fair share of the new investment opportunities. As a result, that's probably why you're seeing a decrease in the monthly investments in your Portfolio Pro account. I know it's annoying. However, we did it in order to make sure that every investor gets a fair share of the loans available on the market. Next question is from Anthony. Hi, Anthony. And the question is, when do you project expansion to other countries? To be honest, in 2020, I mentioned that before the crisis, we were quite advanced in launching in a new Western European country. However, we, during the crisis, decided that we're going to postpone and focus on sustainability of the existing portfolio. So in 2020, we focused on risk management, customer service, and internal processes of the existing countries. Given that the economies are moving ahead and we've been able to deliver very strong results in 2020, we're now looking forward to expand the business again. So quite imminently, you will be seeing a new country added to new loan origination opportunities. However, given launching a new country takes quite some time, the originations initially will be capped for a while. However, keep posted. The moment we're live with the new country, we'll let everyone know. The next question is from Flo. Hi, Flo. When will be the app available for iOS? Frankly, we've had an iOS and Android app in beta live for a long time. And based on the custom research we did recently, we decided to substantially upgrade it, and we released a new prototype of the app. And a few customers, few hundred customers actually, were able to see it and play with it. And based on the feedback, we're now giving finishing touches to the development backlogs, and we're going to start developing the new app in the coming weeks. So stay tuned in the coming months. We'll be starting to release the app in different iterations, initially to existing customers. And as soon as we do, we'll let everyone know. So stay tuned. Anonymous again. He's asking, Bondora Group has earned around 6.4 million as debt service fees and spent around 2.8 for debt procedures. How do you ensure fair distribution of recoveries to investors? These numbers reported in the financial results are gross numbers, only accounting for the external costs related to recoveries. It doesn't account for all the internal costs, the team, the internal processes, etc. So we continue to focus on delivering our promise to investors and to continue to increase our recoveries year after year. The next question is in Spanish, and whilst I'm not an expert, then it seems Diana is asking about the same 400 euro cap. So hi Diana, as mentioned earlier, the 400 euro cap per investor per month is there to make sure that each investor using Go & Grow has fair share of fair access to all of the investment opportunities. And we plan to keep a monthly cap at least for the foreseeable future. However, the exact amount we may revise on a routine basis. The next question is from Anonymous, and he's been very, very busy today. And the question is, what are the lessons learned from Corona? Based on this knowledge, how would you do different next time? Frankly, next time will be completely differently. So if you look at the last couple of crises, then every crisis has started from a different angle, and no one's been able to sort of be ready for it. So therefore, from an economic standpoint, maybe there's not that much to look out for or look at different signs. However, in terms of learnings, the key learning for us and the key mistake we did was communication or lack of communication. So at the start of the crisis, we basically, remained silent or remained relatively passive for a month or two, whilst our investors were, basically demanding feedback and demanding answers and wanting to know how things are going. So after the slow start, we increased our communication quite a bit, and this is a key learning to take into the future. I think also, despite in retrospect, based on the data, that our cutback of lending volumes and shutting down Finland and Spain completely was maybe like overreaction. I think a positive was that we had the ability, given our control over the originations, to stop lending, add in risk buffers, and do that basically all overnight. So as a reminder, when the crisis started, we stopped lending in Finland, we stopped lending in Spain, we got back lending in Estonia very heavily. We implemented bank statement requirements for 100% of the loans. We also increased risk buffers on all of the loans. And we also increased the frequency of our collection activities and created a self-service portal for customers who are overdue to adjust their low monthly payments to their new financial circumstances. So we did a lot of things, and very, very quickly. And that baseline we fine-tuned, which partially was already there, is going to be a great asset in the future crises. And also the quick reactions on the portfolio profitability and portfolio performance aspects are a great testament of the speed of the team to come up with new ideas and implement them quickly. So there's many, many positives, but the key negative was that we should have been more open and faster in communication. Soon we're running out of questions, but there's a few more. We have a bit of time left, so I'm going to try to tackle a few more. The next question is from Fabrizio, who's asking, I'm still having a lot of loans in delay and no information from 2 years. Why? Please solve it. So Fabrizio, hi, I'm happy to solve it. However, on this live chat, I may not be able to do that. So therefore, feel free to send those questions to our support at investor@bondora.com, and they'll be able to help you and sort out any technical questions you may have and give you all sorts of information that you may not find on the website. So please shout out our support team. The next question is from Anonymous. That question is also in Spanish, and based on my quick semantic analysis, it seems that it's a question also about the €400 limit that I've covered a couple of times already. And just to sort of like sum it up, we have a €400 limit that limits investments to Go and Grow each month for all investors. We're not taking this limit off. However, we may revise this amount over the coming months. So let's see, I'll take one or two more before going to our live chat. The next question is from Paul M. Hi, Paul. Are there any plans for other products similar to automatic Go and Grow that provide higher yields? At the moment, our team is working on a completely new product that will allow everyone to better manage their finances, to save more and to cut their costs. However, I've been told not to share any details, so we will share more information as the product matures, and we'll keep you posted over the rest of the year. Simon is asking, what is the average time duration until a loan that is in recovery will either be paid back partially or is finally considered as a loss? Hi, Simon. Frankly, the recovery process can take a while. So if you look at our recovery data, then in many cases you'll see a linear increase in recoveries for every year that the loan is in default. So we may have cases from 2019 when we launched, when there was a financial crisis, that are still handled by bailiffs. And they're not written off because the customer who may have had financial hardship in 2009, has gotten back a job and is now making monthly payments to cover his or her liabilities that she failed on earlier in the time. So there's no like exact time when we write off. Basically, we'll try to recover as long as possible, as long as meaningful, and not stop until the case is fully closed and the amount that is owed at default is recovered. I'll take now the final question to have enough time on YouTube and Facebook. And that question is from Eric. Hi, Eric. And the question is your annual report 2020 audited? Yes. So if you go to our blog or check out the link on our live chat, then you'll find a blog post which includes the financial results in more detail, as well as the annual report. And our annual reports are being audited by KPMG. So that's it from Slido. So let me open up my social media and take a few questions from Facebook and then YouTube. So I'll take the first question from Thomas Barco. Hi, Thomas. Is it planned that the portfolio manager will have more credit available again, or will the mass continue to be used for Go and Grow? I covered this question slightly beforehand. So I mentioned that in the end of last year, we checked our usage data for all the different products. And based on the data, we decided to update our distribution logic, how new loans are allocated to different products, Go and Grow, Portfolio Manager, Portfolio Pro, API, etc. And based on these changes, the allocation to Portfolio Manager also decreased to reflect the smaller proportion of investors who use that versus either Portfolio Pro or API or Go and Grow. So that's probably why you're seeing this change. If the numbers change, we will make this adjustments again based on the usage data. Next question I'll take from Richard. Hi, Richard. He's asking, hello, it is necessary to know when more regular investments may be made, more than 400 euro a month. Richard, frankly, I can't say when and if we're going to remove the 400 euro monthly limit. We are looking to routinely update it and review it, not update it. And based on the reviews, we may update it. I said before as well, we're likely not going to remove the limit completely because that rule has shown to be very valuable in making sure that everyone gets access to new loans and there's not too much liquidity coming into Go and Grow. Next question I'll take from Don D. Lange. Hi Don D. Lange. The question is new app, Go and Grow. As mentioned, we've just released a prototype to a few hundred customers. We did a number of interviews and surveys with them to get their feedback. Based on that feedback, we're fine-tuning the development backlogs and the feature lists, and we're starting development pretty soon on the new app. It's going to be available on iOS and Android, and it will cover everything from new customers to the entire self-service sort of portal, identification, KYC, etc. for Go and Grow. I can't say an exact date when the first iteration or first release will be live. However, keep posted. We'll for sure we'll share the news as soon as we have it. So another question from Richard. Hi Richard. What about the reinvestment of funds rather than sitting in wallet where nothing happens? As said before, the number of loans or the amount of loans each portfolio pro or portfolio manager gets depends on how much loans are allocated to portfolio pro, Go and Grow, and the different products. And a few months ago, we decided to update the distribution rules based on the allocation of customers between the different products. So if that data changes, if more customers move to portfolio manager or to portfolio pro or to Go and Grow, the allocation rules will be updated. And that's why you're probably seeing it. So I said before, I know it sucks, but we did it in order to make sure that everyone gets fair access to the loans. I'll take another question from Don DeLange. So he's asking, while growing my investment amount, what can you say about the guarantee that when needed, a large account can be withdrawn in total? So Don, we launched Go and Grow sometime in 2018, and during this time, so it's now over 3 years, we've only had 3 months where withdrawals from Go and Grow took longer time than instantly. So I can't say it's a guarantee that you can always get back and sell your loans immediately. However, over the past 36 months or so, we've had only 3 months when liquidity was lower, and that was during the start of the Corona crisis. Since then, the distribution of investors in Go and Grow has actually substantially increased because we have a lot of new investors, but given there's a monthly cap, the account sizes are much more evenly distributed now than before the crisis. So I think today, Go and Grow is even more stable and better risk managed than before the crisis. I'll take the final question from Marco because we're running out of time, and he's asking, why is the auditor's report in the annual report not published? So the auditor's report is actually a one-pager that comes with the annual report that says that the annual report matches all the requirements. I do not know, frankly, if we have the right to publish the report because we can't submit the report overall to the financial registry if we don't get the KPMG sort of approval for that. So the annual report is audited and verified by KPMG. I will check out with my team if we have the allowance from KPMG to publish their paper as well. If we have, then we can share it live with all our investors as well. So that's it for today. It's been 30 minutes already. It was amazing, a lot of questions. I hope I was able to answer everything you wanted to hear. I want to sort of reiterate that, like, I'm very, very pleased with the trust and support all of you have given Bondora in 2021 and also now. So we're going to start growing again. We're going to start releasing new products. We're going to start improving the features we have on the website. So it's going to be a very exciting time for Bondora in 2021. And thank you so much for the continued support. See you next time. If you have any questions or feedback, please share on Facebook and YouTube. Thank you so much.